The woman wept silently, not out of sadness, but because of the miracle of kindness she had once shown. No matter how hard life gets, love, sacrifice, and kindness can create miracles. A father's dedication, a boy's determination, and a stranger's simple act of generosity changed a life forever. When we help someone without expecting anything in return, we might just be shaping a future we never imagined. So never underestimate the power of small acts of kindness. They have the potential to change the world. Once upon a time, a wise old man was traveling through a dense forest. As he continued his journey, he noticed a small cottage nearby. The old man decided to pay them a visit. To his surprise, he found 7 beautiful girls living in the cottage. They were well-mannered and extremely beautiful, but they were lonely. There was no one to play with them. Feeling compassionate, the old man asked them if he could stay with them in exchange for teaching them the art of numbers and calculation. They readily agreed, and so the old man moved into the cottage. Every morning, the old man would wake up early, tend to the household chores, and then teach the girls. He taught them valuable lessons about life, numbers, and calculations. In return, the girls would cook delicious meals for him and ensure he lived a comfortable life. After 3 years of living together, the old man grew fond of the girls and considered them his own daughters. However, he knew he wasn't getting any younger and wouldn't be able to live with them forever. So he decided to move out and leave them to fend for themselves. Before leaving, he gave them a final lecture and warned them about the dangers of the outside world. He advised them to lock the doors and windows at night and never open the door to strangers. As promised, the old man left and the girls were on their own. For a few days, they managed well, sticking to their routine and staying indoors. But soon, their loneliness began to overwhelm them. They missed having someone to talk to and care for them. Unable to bear the loneliness, the youngest girl suggested they send a message to the old man asking him to come back. While the other girls agreed, the eldest objected. She reminded everyone about their father's warning about staying indoors. Despite her advice, the youngest girl went ahead and sent a letter asking the old man to return. Meanwhile, the old man was enjoying his retirement, reminiscing about the good times he spent with the girls. Suddenly, he received the letter and was taken aback. Although he wanted to go back, he knew he had taught the girls all he could, and it was time for them to live their lives independently. Nevertheless, he decided to pay them a surprise visit. When the old man arrived at the cottage, he noticed something was amiss. The windows and doors were locked, and there was no sign of life. Thinking they might have gone out, he waited patiently. However, as night began to fall, he grew concerned. He tried knocking on the door, but there was no answer. Worried about their safety, the old man peeped through a window and saw the girls transformed. They were no longer the innocent young girls he had left behind. They had become beautiful women. Overcoming his hesitation, the old man opened the door and entered the cottage. The women were startled by his sudden arrival, but quickly composed themselves. Realizing the old man's concern, they apologized for deceiving him and explained that they had locked the doors and windows as he had instructed. However, their beauty had attracted the attention of 7 ogres who lived in the forest nearby. Each ogre had proposed to marry one of the girls, and in exchange, they had agreed to build a magnificent palace for them. Now, dear friends, here's a question for you. What do you think the 7 ogres were actually trying to do? Was it a genuine proposal of marriage or something more sinister? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Each night, the ogres would disguise themselves as handsome princes and try to trick the girls into opening the door. If just one girl had opened the door, the others would have been in danger. But thanks to their quick thinking, they managed to escape the ogres' clutch. Now, the old man realized that these were not ordinary ogres. These were ogres with supernatural powers, possibly even the sons of the devil. To protect the girls, he invoked the power vested in him by God and cast a spell on the ogres, turning them into mice. As the old man watched, the 7 ogres shrunk, losing their human forms and scurrying away as terrified mice. The women were overjoyed, thanking the old man for saving them from the ogres. And so, the old man became their guardian once again. In those days, the old man was known as a holy man, and people from far and wide would come to him for help. Many young men also came forward wanting to marry the beautiful women. Both young men agreed without hesitation. Then the old man set them a task. He told them that to marry the women, they had to bring him 7 golden coins from the market. Upon hearing this, the first young man became angry. He argued that they had risked their lives to come here, yet the old man was sending them on a trivial errand. Frustrated, the first young man left, but the second one understood the gravity of the situation. He knew that if the 7 women were to marry 7 ogres, it would be disastrous. Taking his leave, he went to the market to purchase the 7 golden coins. Meanwhile, the first young man had gone to the river to cool off. As he sat by the river, he noticed a small boat approaching. Inside the boat was a mouse! The mouse beckoned to the young man, and when he leaned in, it spoke. It introduced itself as the leader of the 7 ogres and revealed that they had followed the young man. It offered him a deal. If he allowed the ogres to marry the 7 women, they would make him the ruler of their kingdom in the forests. All he had to do was bring the old man to the river and leave him on the boat. The young man hesitated, torn between his desire for power and his conscience. Eventually, his greed won over, and he agreed to help the ogres. As darkness fell, the young man approached the cottage where the old man and the 7 women were waiting. Pretending to be worried about the other young man, he asked the old man to accompany him to check on him. The old man agreed, and as they neared the river, the mouse instructed the young man to push the boat into the water. Once in the boat, the old man tied the rope around the boat and secured it. He then asked the young men why he had betrayed them. The young man confessed his greed and mentioned the offer made by the ogres. Hearing this, the old man realized the severity of the situation. He knew if the ogres married the women, evil would spread throughout the land. To prevent this, the old man invoked the power granted to him by God and recited a powerful spell. The spell caused the ogres to shrink, turning them into mice once again. The old man then grabbed the 7 mice, put them in a sack, and threw them into the river. Looking at the old man, the young man realized his mistake. He had chosen greed over righteousness, and now evil would be sealed within the depths of the river. Filled with remorse, the young man fell into the river. The old man watched as the young man disappeared into the water. He knew that if he didn't pull the young man out, he would drown. So, without hesitation, the old man jumped into the river and saved the young man's life. After pulling the young man out of the water, the old man offered him a choice. He could either leave and start a new life or face the consequences of his actions. The young man, filled with guilt, chose to face the consequences. The old man then uttered another spell, causing the young man's body to shrink, turning him into a mouse. The old man tied the rope around the young man and hung him on a tree near the river. With the threat of the ogres now eliminated, the old man returned to the cottage with the 7 women. Years passed, and the 7 women bore children. They lived happily in the cottage, and the old man served as their protector. Meanwhile, the 2 mice remained trapped on the tree, constantly fighting each other. And so our story comes to an end. Friends, we often encounter situations in life that test our patience, resilience, and morality. Sometimes people we trust betray us, causing us to experience profound sadness and disappointment. Moreover, during challenging times, we may find ourselves questioning our choices and wondering why certain individuals seem to be exempt from experiencing pain or sorrow. However, it is important to remember that life is unpredictable, and we should strive to live each day to the fullest. We may encounter moments when we feel the weight of life's difficulties, but it's crucial to keep moving forward with faith in God. No matter what challenges we face, as long as we have faith in God, we can overcome any obstacle.